This is the Roulette Master. One of my subscribers, Jacob, has created a fantastic new roulette system. He calls this the Cash Cow Roulette System. And today we're going to test his incredible new system against another system that is fantastic. This is Kentucky White's 9 Streets. This should be an awesome battle, and I can't wait to get started. So let's just jump right in. And here we go. We're going to start with Kentucky White's 9 Streets first. We're going to pick 3 streets. Let's go ahead and do that. And spin, and each time that we lose, we're going to add more streets, and I'll share with you everything you need to know with this and the incredible Cash Cow Roulette system coming up. That is a loss, so we're going to add 3 more. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we're going to double the bet from 30 to 60 and spin, and here we go. So now we have 18 numbers covered, and that's a win with a 10 black. That's a $60 win. We're already up $45. So let's go ahead and start with 3 streets again and spin. They don't have to be together. You can move them around wherever you like. And here we go. That's a 14 red. What a fantastic start. That's another $45 win. We're up $90. Let's go ahead and start with these 3 right here and spin. All right, here we go. What a great start to this one. And that's a 14 red. I guess we should have stayed right where we were, but that's okay. We're going to add 3 more in now. Let's go ahead and add these 3 in. And then, oh, we should have doubled that. You don't actually have to double that one, but if, you make more if you do. So that's a 29 black, and we won $30 there. So just to put that in perspective, we still won 15. So we're up 105. So it's actually safer if you don't double on that first one. You can do it either way, but remember that it's safer if you double after the first 6. So let's go ahead and start with let's start right here this time. And we're up $105. Let's go ahead and spin. And I'll share with you both ways of doing that just so you understand that as we go through. That's a 33 black. Okay, and that's a $15 loss. So to put that in perspective, on that last one, we won $30 and we had lost 15. So we picked up 15 bucks. So you don't have to double at this point, but if you want to make more, you can. Let's actually go with waiting to double now. And here we go. And that's an 18 red. Okay, that's a $30 win. So we're still picked up profit. We're up 120. So let's pick 3 streets and spin. And here we go. That's a 26 black. Okay, we missed that one, so let's add 3 more in. Okay, and then let's go ahead and spin. And we'll go ahead and double that bet if we lose on this one. That's a 27 red. And we did lose, so let's go ahead and add 3 more in. And now we're going to double that bet from 45 to 90. Once you get to 9 streets, though, you have to get 2 wins instead of 1. So let's see if we can do that. We have a lot more coverage now. Okay, that's a $30 win. We're up 105. Let's see if we can get a second win here with 9 streets. And here we go. That's a 5 red. Okay, that's another nice win. Now we're up 135 and we restart. So let's pick 3 streets. And again, they don't even have to be together. You can put them wherever you want as long as you keep moving them around. And here we go. Okay, that's an 11 black. That's a loss. So let's go ahead and add 3 more in. And again, you can double at this point. We'll go ahead and do that one more time just so you can see. But it is safer if you wait to double until you get to the 9th streets. And here we go. That's a 10 black. So you can see we lost that one. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 3 more. Just like that. And since we doubled on that last one, though, you have to remember that they're already at 10. So if you do it that way, you have to remember before you double, you have to put those the next 3 in at a higher level. So here we go. That's a 4 black and we lost again. So this is why I think it's better to not double until you get to the 9 streets. So let's go ahead and we have to double now to 360. This is a $2,000 bankroll system. And here we go. That's a 35 black. Okay, there's 1 win. We're going to need 2. And let's go ahead and spin again. And we'll have a small setback with just 2 wins here because we've had so many losses. That is a 2 black. And again, this is a $2,000 bankroll system. We have, almost 1,700 left in there, so we can double again, but we need to get a win on this one. We can't have any more low numbers here. That's an 18 red. That's a good win of $240. So let's go ahead now, and we need a second win here, and then we'll see where we're at with our session profit. You never want to have to place a large bet if you don't have to. And that's a 20 black. That should be a good one. Okay, so a good learning lesson here is, even though we're up 120 and we were higher than that before, you still want to reset and restart. And let's spread them out a little bit this time. Okay, and the reason for that is because it's just too much of a risk when you're already up. And that's a 0-0. We lost the first one. And we're going to go back to the safer way of playing this, which is the way Kentucky White plays it, with not doubling until you get to the 9 streets. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a 1 red. Okay, so we're going to add 3 more in, and then we're going to double. Let's go ahead and do that. And spin at $90 total bet. And here we go. That's a 31 black. And we missed it, so we have to double up again. We're going to go from 90 to 180 and spin. And here we go. That's a 23 red, and that's a win. Okay, that's a $60 win. We're going to rebet and spin. And then we'll see where we're at after this win, and we'll see if the risk is worth the reward. That's a 10 black. Okay, that's another win. Now we're up 105, and I think we can do one more and try to get 3 since the bets aren't crazy high yet. And that's a 29 black. Okay, that should get us back up to 165, and we restart. So let's go ahead, and we'll start with 3 streets and spin. This is Kentucky White's 9 streets. And basically, each time you lose, you're increasing the number of streets that you're betting on. And once you get to 9, you need more than 1 win to recover. And let's go ahead and add 3 more in. And spin. Excuse me. And here we go. Still fighting a cold this week. Well, more than a cold. I definitely have some bronchitis. So that is a nice win there. And we picked up 15. We're at 180 profit. Let's go ahead and we'll start with 3 there and spin. Yeah, it's not fun having a cold all week, but hopefully I can kick it. And that's a 36 red. And we're going to add 3 more in. Okay, we're not going to go ahead and increase. We're not going to increase the bet, though, this time until we get to 9 if we do. And that's a 17 black. And we lost that one. So now it's time to add 3 more. And then we're going to double up. And now we need at least 2 wins to recover, depending on if we get it here. That's a 7 red. Okay, we got 1 there. And we are up 165. Let's get a second win here. And spin. And here we go. That's an 18 red. There's a second win. So we're back up 195. Let's pick 3 streets. 1, 2, and 3, and spin. Sorry about this, guys. I need some cough drops. Maybe I have some over here. Let me see. Oh, no, all out. And let's go ahead and add 3 more. And spin. Here we go. All right, let's see what we have here. That's a 1 red. Okay, that's a loss. We're going to add 3 more in and double. Okay, and all right, so we're up $210. And we're going to go ahead and reset back to where we started with 3. And spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 0-0. We lost that one. And that's a $15 loss, so we'll add 3 more. Again, you can put these wherever you want. And if you want to make money faster, you can double earlier, but there is more risk. And that's a 22 black. That's a nice $30 win. We're up $225. Let's add 3 in and spin. And here we go. You also have to remember, too, if you double after the first loss, that before you do anything else, you have to bring the rest of the bets back up to 10, the 3 that you add in. So But you don't have to worry about that if you're just waiting till the 9 streets to double. Let's go ahead and spin here with 6. So for instance, if we had doubled, those 3 we had just added would have needed to go in on the next one. They would have had to go in at a higher level. So we're up 180. After that loss, we're going to go ahead and add 3 more. Okay, now we're going to double and spin. And here we go. Now we need at least 2 wins instead of 1. That's a 30 red. That's a $30 win. We're up 210. Let's just rebet and spin again and try to get another win here. And here we go. That's a 00 though, so we're going to have to double up again. So let's go ahead and do that. That's why we have a $2,000 bankroll. Now remember that you can always play this for less. If you don't want to use $5 units, you can just divide that $2,000 bankroll by 5 and use dollar units. And that's a $60 win there. We're up 180. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. So that'd be a $400 bankroll with dollar units, and that's a 5 red. But we lost again. Good thing we have that bankroll. So now we're going to double up to 360 and spin, and now we're all the way back to where we started. I think we can recover right here. That's a 25 red. Okay, 120 win. So we're going to rebet and try to get another one of those. And here we go. Okay, that's a 13 black. There's our 2 wins. So we're back up 240. And it's time to restart with 3 again and spin. Sorry about the coughing, guys. But I think I've gone over 2,000 days without missing a video. I don't think I'm going to miss one today. Got to bring it every single day. And hope you guys enjoy the daily content. Let's go ahead and spin. And I enjoy it as well. I love seeing the new systems come in every day. And I'm excited about the one that we have coming up here. So that's another loss there. So we'll add 3 more in. And then we'll double up to 90 and spin. And here we go. And that's a 29 black. That's a nice $30 win. We're up 225. Let's rebet and spin. Here we go. Okay, that's a 19 red. Fantastic. Now we're up 255, and we just picked 3 new ones again. And it's awesome when you win with just 3 streets. So let's see if we can get that done. I don't think we did, though. That's an 18 red. So we'll add 3 more in. Again, you can put them wherever you want and then spin. And here we go. That's a 27 red. That's a nice win. So we're up 270, starting to continue to make profit here. And actually, we're almost to 15 minutes. So let's see what we get here. That's a 21 red. And we'll finish with a $45 win on just 3 streets. And that's awesome. And that's what you want to do is when luck is good, that's when you want to cash out, is when things are doing well, not when things are retreating. So keep that in mind. And that made $315 profit in 15 minutes with Kentucky White's 9 streets. Again, it's safer if you wait till you get to 9 streets to double. You can double after when you go to 6 if you would like to, but it's a little more risk. So I would think that you would probably do better, over time, waiting till you get to 9 to double like we did here. And thank you for watching this one. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And now it is time for that new roulette system of the day. Let's jump right in and get started. I'm excited about this one. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the Cash Cow Roulette system. I can't wait to share this with you. It's unlike anything you've probably seen before, and this is really exciting for me to see new systems that are like this. So I hope you enjoy it. And we're going to start with a $30 total bet, and that's 6 streets at 5 each. Let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. We're going to have 3 different levels to this, and I think we're going to make a lot of money. That's a 24 black. Fantastic. That's a $30 win. We're going to go ahead now, and we're going to remove that 24. And now we just have 5 streets. So that's 15 numbers. Let's go ahead and spin again. And then each one of these levels is going to have a different progression. And here we go. We haven't seen the progression in level 1 yet. We're on level 2 right now. So the progression on this one is to double up the bet. So we're going to do that and spin. And here we go. Okay, but there's a different one on level 1, different one on level 3. Okay, we lost that one, so let's double that up again. Now we're at $100 total bet. And the really cool thing about this is once we get to level 3, the streets that are left have not hit in a long time. So now we're up $95 already, and we're going to remove that street that just hit. Now we're going to have a totally different progression here. So let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. And you're going to be able to make a lot of money with this one when it hits. So we lost that one. Okay. So as you can see here, there's 20 on each. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 20 to each of those each time that we lose. So let's do that. And bear in mind that those have not hit in a very long time. So let's see what we get here. That's a double zero. We definitely lost that one. Okay, so we're at minus 145. We're going to add 20 to each again. And spin. And here we go. That's a 29 black. Okay, we hit it. That's a $480 win. We're already up $355. You could already cash out right there. But let's go back. We haven't even seen what we're doing in level 1 here yet. Let's go back to level 1. And you could even do this with dollar bets and make a lot of money as it appears. In fact, seeing how large the bets got there, I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment on this one already. And we're going to play this one with dollar bets just to see how much safer it is. Let's go ahead and spin. The progression will be the same whether we start with dollar bets or $5 bets. You just have to know what the progression is. And we'll get to that in a second. That's a 13 black. Okay, we lost. So in level 1 right here, we're going to be doubling and adding a unit. So let's go ahead and do that. And spin. And here we go. And I think for the bankroll that he's proposing, this would be much safer for playing with dollar units. But you also saw how much we made that first go around. So let's go ahead now, and we're going to double and add another unit again. So we're adding $1 to each of these after we double. Okay, now we're at $42 total bet, and let's spin. That's a 0 there. That's another loss. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to double that up and then add $1 to each. Okay, now we're at $90 total bet. Let's spin. Okay, that's a 20 black. And we still haven't won. That is crazy. So it happens sometimes. We're going to double and add another unit. And this is why you should start with $6 instead of $30, I believe, with this one. And here we go. That's a 22 black. Okay, that's a $186 win. Now we're up $365. And the way this one works is if you go that many times, if you go more than 4 times without winning in level 1, you do not go to level 2 and level 3. You just go ahead and you restart. So let's go ahead and do that now. And the reason for that is because the bets, let's see, we have one more here. Because the bets are going to get way too big in level 2 and level 3 if you have a bunch of losses before you get the win in level 1. So that's a 25 red. And we'll go over all those rules as we go through. And we're going to double up and add a unit to each of these. Okay, let's go ahead and spin. So if you lose 4 times, you're not going to go to level 2 and level 3. That's a 5 red. Okay, but we got the win before that. So now what we're going to do is remove this one right here. Okay, and now our progression is, instead of doubling and adding a unit, our progression is doubling. So let's go ahead and do that now. And spin. And remember, as we get to the end of this, these streets have not hit in a long time, and that's an 18 red. Okay, fantastic. So now we go ahead and we remove that one. Okay, and then whatever's left on these, which you can see is $3, For each loss, we're going to add $3. So let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. So whatever's on them, and that's why we stop after 3 losses. If it's more than 3 losses in level 1, we just reset at level 1. And that's a $24 win there. We're up $4.22. So we still got some pretty good profit there going with dollar units. And I think it's, again, much safer. He was proposing a $2,000 bankroll, but I think it'd be better to do a $1,000 bankroll with these dollar units. And sometimes, you know, if I notice something early with a strategy and I really like the strategy, I'll make an adjustment to the strategy as we go through. That's just something I noticed, especially after how high the bets got early. So that's a $6 win. We're up $4.28. So we're going to remove one of those. We won on the first one that time. And then now we're doubling until we get a win here. So we were doubling and adding a unit. Now we're doubling. Okay, we lost. So we're going to double that up from 5 to 10 and spin. And the cool thing is with this system that by the end, that streets that you need to hit haven't hit in a very long time. Okay, we lost again. So let's double that up again and spin. And here we go. That's a 23 red. And that's a nice win there. So we're going to remove that one. And now you can see we have $4 on each. That means these ones are going to go up $4 each time that we lose. So let's go ahead and spin. And the cool thing is that these haven't hit in a while. So hopefully they will. That's a 19 red. And we lost. So we'll increase by $4 each on each of them every time we lose. And now they're at 8 each, $32 total. And here we go. That's a 2 black. And we missed it, so we're going to go up $4 again. Now we're at 12 each. And spin. And here we go. And the same thing goes for level 2. If you lose more than 3 times and you win, you start over with level 1. So we'll go over all of that again as we go through. Let's add 4 to each. All right, let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 33 black. And we lost. Let's go ahead and add 4 to each of those. And we'll see. It's been a very long time since these streets have hit. So let's see if we can get a win here. And that's a 36 red. There we go, $160 win. We're up $441. And let's go over all these rules again. So we're again going to put our 6 streets out there. We're doubling and adding a unit after each loss. If we lose more than 3, we stay in level 1 and we just go back to doubling and adding a unit back at $1 each. If we get a win in the first 3 attempts, and we're going to go ahead and double and add a unit. Whoops, just one unit. There we go. Now we're at 3 each. And spin. So for instance, if we get a win here, we go to level 2 because we've only had 1 loss. That's an 11 black. And we got the win. So we go to level 2. If we had lost 3 times and we win, we stay in level 1. So let's go ahead and remove this one right here. Accidentally put one on instead of took one off. And now we're doubling up until we win in level 2. But you can see the importance of not going too far. If the bets get really big, you don't want to go to level 2 and level 3. Okay, so there's 1 loss. And same thing with level 2. If you we're going to double. We're not adding a unit in level 2. We're just doubling. But remember, we're counting the losses. This is our second attempt. We've had 1 loss. And that's a 29 black. And we got the win. So it was we only had 1 loss. If we had more than 3, we would have gone back to the start again. Okay, we're up $480. So now we're going to remove the 29. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and check and see how much is on those, and it's $6. So with each loss, we're going to add $6. And here we go. And these have not hit for a while. That's a 4 black. Fantastic. That's a $48 win. Now we're up 528. Okay, so this is starting to make a lot more sense now, and you definitely do not need the $5 unit sizes to make a lot of money. Obviously, it's awesome that we made a ton of money in that first sequence, but I think it was a little too risky. That's why I dialed it down. If I see a really good system and it's headed for a train wreck, and I don't want it to go bad, sometimes I will go ahead and make an adjustment, and that's what I did today. So let's go ahead and take that off. It's still the same system, it's just safer. And we're going to go now, we're in level 2. We got to win on the first one in level 1. And here we go. That's a 12 red. There we go. That's nice. So now we're going to, we haven't even had a loss yet, and we're going to level 3. And they only have $1 on each. So that means in level 3 this time, if we lose, we just add $1. So we can handle that. Here we go. That's a 19 red. Okay, we didn't get it, so we'll just add $1 to each. And now we're at $2 on each of those. And here we go. And again, I would recommend a $1,000 bankroll with these dollar units instead of a $2,000 bankroll for $5 units. I think that's not high enough. So let's go ahead, and we're going to increase by 1 unit each time we lose. Okay, now we're at $12 total. And here we go. That's a 27 red. And that's a loss. So let's go up by another unit again. Now we have $4 on each, and we're currently up $517. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 25 red. It's another loss. Let's go up by a unit. And I don't think any of these streets have hit for a very long time. The last one I see, I think there is the 4 down at the bottom. Okay, let's go ahead and spin. And the reason it's still on the board is because this one didn't have any losses early. And that's a 30 red. There we go, we got it. Now we're back up 541, and we restart back in level 1 with 6 streets. Okay, and that's a $6 bet instead of a $30 bet, which we originally did. This is just much safer, and it still makes really good money. That's a 15 black. Okay, we lost that first one. Again, in level 1, we double and add a unit. So we go from 1 to 3. And spin. If we have more than 3 losses, we just restart to level 1 once we get a win. And that's a 32 red. We lost again. So there's 2 losses. So we're going to double and add a unit. Okay, so if we get a 3rd loss here, let's see what we get here first. That's a 0. We did get 3 losses. Okay, so if we get any more losses, we're going to go we're going to stay in level 1 once we get the win. And spin. And that's a 2 black. And that's a loss. So once we get a win, we're going to go back to level 1, or we're going to stay in level 1. And actually, we need to double and add a unit. And that's because we don't want to go to level 2 and level 3 with these high numbers, because there's less coverage. And that's a 12 red. Okay, we finally got the win. And now we just go back to the start of level 1. We're up 571. So let's go ahead and do that. And spin. But again, if you if you get a win in the first couple, he says if you get more than 3, but I would almost, after playing this a little bit, I would say if you get 3 losses, you stay in level 1. But that's just what I think. So let's go ahead, and we're going to double up and add a unit. So I think if you get 3 losses in any level, you should go back to level 1 if you get the win. But if you get 1 loss or 2 losses, go to the next level. And that's a 35 black. And that's a nice win there. So then we would go to level 2, because we did not get 3 losses. And then we would spin. And here we go. And let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 22 black. Okay, and that's a win, and we're right at the 15-minute mark. So we made $604 profit with this one. Granted, we made $300 in the first sequence with $5 units, but we still made over $300 profit with dollar units after that. So it's a fantastic roulette system, but I would say use dollar units. This would be a good one for automated roulette with a $6 starting bet, and so you double and add a unit in level 1. If you have more than 2, I made a little bit of an adjustment to his system here. If you have more than 2 losses, if you have 3 losses, I would reset back to level 1. And the other adjustment I made was obviously going from $5 units to dollar units. You can make a ton with this one with $5 units, but it appeared like there was too much risk with the $2,000 bankroll. So I would recommend doing a $1,000 bankroll with dollar units on this one. And let me know down in the comments what you guys think. But I think it can. This could be really good because a lot of times when you get to the final level, level 3, those streets have not hit in a very long time. So again, would love to hear what you think about that, and really appreciate everyone watching these new systems every day. I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys do as well. If you are enjoying it, please like, share, and subscribe. And let's keep growing this community of people that absolutely love roulette. And there's just so many possibilities out there, and I love exploring them every day with you guys. And this is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.